Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, guys. It keeps repeating. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Is it better? Hi, guys. For some reason, it kept repeating. I think I had some other windows that were open that were forcing it to do that. Sorry about that. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hi, Tanya. Hey, Star Child Jess. Hey, Pink's Tea Party. Thanks for joining me. I just wanted to get on here and say hi to you guys. I missed you guys. Missed you guys a lot. Hey, Carol. How are you? Hey, Martha. Yeah, sorry about that. Had some major technical issues there. I'm so glad you guys can join me. It was a little bit last minute. There's just been so many crazy things that have been happening, with the royal family. How is my sound? Let me know if I'm too loud or too soft, because I can never tell. I want to make sure I'm not shouting at anybody. So make sure that I'm okay. Let's see here. Oh, thank you. Chairs each day. So as y'all know, my dad, he did pass away. Hi, Lizzie B. Thanks for being able to join. My dad passed away in April, and we weren't able to get the service until this Friday. And we thought Memorial Day weekend would be the perfect time for a soldier's funeral. So we were able to give my dad the full military honors on Friday with the whole taps, the folding of the flag. It was a beautiful service. And I feel so much better because I feel like closure, like he finally got what he wanted, what he needed. So it was a big relief to finally be able to kind of close that chapter. Thank you, Martha. And thank you, Lizzie. He's in a better place. And I know a lot of you have reached out to me and told me that y'all have lost parents. And so my condolences to you, because it's one of those things, that happens to everybody. But when it happens to you, you're just not prepared. It doesn't feel real. But I'm at peace, and I know my dad is at peace. Star Child says, I am from Houston. I've been to Killeen once. Did he ever station there? Yes, that's actually where he had his funeral, was in Killeen. My dad was stationed at Fort Hood, Texas. That's kind of where I grew up. I went to high school there. But yeah, so my dad was at the Veteran Cemetery in Killeen. Yeah, they did a wonderful job. They really, really did. Yeah. Carol says it will take you a lot of time to get over it. It will. I think it's one of those things you'll never get over. But I just feel a huge amount of release. Martha says, he was very handsome. You look like him. Thank you. Yes, my daddy was a very handsome man. We were very, very blessed to have him. So, but anyways, there is a lot of royal news. But first things first, what in the world happened with Macron? He got slapped by his wife today. That's got to be the most embarrassing thing ever for a president or prime minister to experience. Oh, Carol, you said way cool. Is that a membership badge? Oh, I don't know if that is. Who are you asking? Way cool crown. Is that a membership badge? Oh, Martha, your husband was stationed at Fort Hood. That's awesome. They changed the name, actually. to something else. I don't know what the new name is, but there was a big controversy. They changed the name, and I think they're maybe changing it back. I prefer Fort Hood, but that's just how I know it. But I know they had changed the name recently to something else. Elizabeth says, I think Macron was trying to get a smooch and she didn't want her makeup messed up. I think it was more than that. I think she was maybe not happy with him because it really did look like he was shocked. She like really looked like she tried to sock him in the face, and then he really played it off. And she did not look happy with him when they were exiting the plane. This picture that I have right here is their body language when they exited the plane. And they had circled it. You could see his very stern expression and his fist. He was pissed because she made him look a fool getting off the plane. So I think there was some major tension going on here. Even her body language, they're not even looking at each other. They look like they're mad at each other. I could not believe that this morning. Excuse my ignorance, but Macron president because Trudeau took a step down. Macron. Yeah, I think is he the president of France, guys? Can y'all tell us the truth? I think he's the president. Macron. President of France. Yes. President of France. And she is way older than him. So the interesting thing is my sister, I don't know if y'all know, my sister was visiting me from out of town for the funeral, and she doesn't follow the royal stuff, but she didn't know the conspiracy theory surrounding Macron and his wife and how much older his wife was than Macron. And I'm like, she was his teacher. I think, aren't they like 40 years apart? She's like 70 something. Is he like in his late 30s or 40s? Yes, that's right. I thought that was the case. Macron is French. He's the president of France. Trudeau is the prime minister of Canada. I know. Why did Macron say to the missus to garner such a reaction? Yeah, we don't know, Jane, what happened. It looks like they had some kind of tiff, and they tried to play it off. They were trying to say that it was just, they were just joking around, last minute before they exited the plane. But if I can get the video clip, you can see he looks shocked. So when she you just see her arm, you don't see her face. So you see him and he's looking at her and he's trying to move toward her, and then you just see her like arm almost sucker punch him in the face. And then he kind of looks surprised, and then he notices that people can see him, and he does the fake wave. So it did not look like they were playing around. He looked very shocked, in my opinion. So that's got to be really embarrassing for people to see that, for sure. She is a he and not a she. Yeah, I have to say that I can't confirm that, but I did watch the Candace Owen series on Macron and his wife, Brigitte, and it's just fascinating. If you guys haven't seen it, uh, the math isn't mathing. First of all, she was like his teacher, and he was 14 when they met. That right there is a red flag. Just that part right there. Then you add in all the weird mysteries of her, no pictures of her ever when she was young, when she was pregnant. There was barely any, if there was any wedding photos with her and her first husband. Everyone has the same weird family name. It's just bizarre how she's the first lady of France, but like you can't find anything from her past. It's really odd. Hi, Judith. Thanks for coming. Hi, Carol. Yes, grooming. So if the roles were reversed and the husband was the one who was 35, 40 years older and the wife was 14, people would totally lose their mind. This reminds me of Bo Derek Do y'all remember the actress Bo Derek and her husband John Derek? And I think she was like 17 or 16 when they started dating, and how he was 30 plus years older than her. They called him a Swingali. It's weird when it's the woman because that's not normally the case. But I would say definite grooming going on there. Oh, hi, Tanya. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. That is going to go toward Romeo's Fancy Feast Fund. That cat eats about 7 cans a day. He sure does. Hi, Lori. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Yes, my dad was a very handsome man. And my grandfather, who was my dad's father, I do have some old photographs. I'll try to scan them. He looked like Clark Gable. When he was younger, he looked a lot like Clark Gable. He really did. Very handsome. Yeah, do y'all remember that from the 70s with Bo Derek and her husband, John Derek? And all of his wives looked alike. Linda Evans, remember Linda Evans from Dynasty? She's beautiful. Ursula Andrews, was that one of his wives? And then Bo Derek, and they all kind of look alike, the same blonde, blue eyed bone structure. Yeah. Women can be just as evil as men. Yeah, totally. So there's this really weird dynamic between him and his wife. I think she's like a mother figure almost, right? Being 35 plus years older than your husband, that just seems odd to me. Like, what in the world do they have in common? And she met him when he was 14. He was in a school play. And then I guess soon after they became together, supposedly when he was 18 or 17. But to me, that whole thing is just, ugh, it's weird. I don't know what to make about that. I really don't. Ursula, only in quotes. Right, exactly. Um, Oh, thank you, Judith. I do. I'm a very lucky person, and my sister is gorgeous. My sister, the funny thing is when I was looking at, Harry and Meghan and their kids, my sister is a redhead with blue eyes. My brother has like light brown hair, where he used to have light brown hair, and hazel eyes, and I have brown hair and brown eyes. My grandmother was also a natural redhead. So in my family, we only had the one redhead. So that's why I find it hard that Archie and Lily both are redheads, right? Especially if you're looking at Meghan and Harry's genes together. So very interesting. She's only 24 and a half years older than Macron. Really? I really thought she was a lot older than that. But still, she was 14. So how old was she when they met? I mean, right? That's especially when you're talking about a 14-year-old, that's a baby. Very weird. Yeah. So anyways, I just want to get y'all's take on that, what you think happened there. Let's see. Thank you. Oh, yes. Did you see Huggy take Lily Bucks to tend the bees? Yes, I did. Yep. So I do find it interesting how Megan now is kind of, carting out the children, triangulating all of us with their kids because she's a mom. I'm a mom. She really, really, really wants the world to know what a great mother she is. She's a martyr at this point, honestly. But I believe there was a story where Catherine had done something recently with her beehives because Catherine actually has her own beehives. They have their beehives. I believe it's at Amber Hall. They've grown their own honey for many, many years. King Charles is into it. The Beckhams are into it. Apparently it's a hobby of the rich. The rich people can afford to have beehives, I guess, right? So Megan only wanted to pretend that she was into bees for her cooking show. That's not a cooking show. So I do find this very interesting that she has to bring Lily out to showcase their bee hobby. To me, it's so, and the roses. Remember how Catherine had the Princess of Wales, Catherine Rose, named after her, and now we see Meghan constantly with her roses. Like, do you really think Meghan Markle is the type of person who spends her afternoon just out there with the bees and flower arranging and cutting flowers and planting seeds and watering and nurturing them? I just do not get that vibe. I believe she has a staff of people who do all of that for her. To me, that is for the gram, the Instagram. She just wants the photo to show people it's a photo op. Yeah, there's definitely nothing genuine. And someone, I believe it was Sue Smith, pointed out that Lily looked like she was hesitant, like she was afraid to go to the bees. Elizabeth said, Lily's back to being small again. She shrunk from the Mom's Day pic. I didn't take my 3-year-old to see bees just in case. I think this one is a rent-a-kid. Yeah, I think she's a little too young to be around beehives. And let's be honest, Megan's not exactly an expert. So that was very haphazardly, in my opinion, for Megan. Bridget Macron is 25 years older than her husband. Yeah, it definitely seems like she was a lot older. Child endangerment, in my opinion. Absolutely. K Spot says MM is fraud in every way of the word. Absolutely. Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden was in the news recently for taking her kids out to her beehives and teaching them about bees. See, I have a feeling she probably had an expert and she probably did it the right way. And also, isn't her daughter like much older than 3? Princess Victoria, isn't her daughter like 10 or 8 or 9? It seems like she's a little bit older there. Sorry, guys, gonna get up to these comments here. Um, Lizzie B says, I wouldn't have let any child near those bees. Absolutely. I am definitely afraid of bees because I was stung by a bee as a child. And I know the bees, we need the bees. You don't want to hurt the bees. We need the honey. We need to protect them at all costs. But I'm mortified of bees. And in Texas, we have yellow jackets. Oh, those things are so scary. And wasps. I cannot stand them because they sting you. And I have like a whole wasp nest right now on my patio. So I don't mind getting rid of the wasps, but I definitely look, we try to be careful of the bees because they're important. Carol says, wasn't Tig about fashion, travel, beauty, and restaurants? Yes. And Meghan Markle has now decided that she is going to be expanding her business, guys, because she's such an expert. She's such an expert at business, guys. Now she has to bring in fashion. But this is going to be very interesting, guys, because Meghan Markle, in my opinion, is a one-trick pony. She doesn't stick to anything long enough. Like I said before, I don't feel like As Ever is a real business. I feel it's a gimmick. She's running like a gimmick novelty shop, is what she's running. A gimmick novelty shop. And that's not a sustainable business. Who sells out in 1 hour and then never replenishes their stock? That makes 0 sense. So I think there's going to be a lot of problems for Meghan Markle coming up. I'm trying to get an image for you guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Hold on one second. Okay. So I just find this whole thing asinine, what she did. What are your thoughts on that? Well, yes, the Swedish princess children are almost 14 and 11. Yes, see, they're a lot older than 3. I just think 3 is a little young to be around bees, especially if you're not an expert, and we know that Meghan Markle is not. She looks very clumsily in that outfit. It looks a little loose on her daughter. So Meghan Markle, you guys, we're going to get into this in a video, but Meghan Markle kind of announced that she's not going to be replenishing her is it as ever? I keep calling it as if. She's not going to be replenishing her as ever stock. Now, my question is this. Let me ask y'all a question. If you had an amazing business that sold out in 1 hour, why would you not replenish it? Victoria Beckham, when she dressed Catherine, the Princess of Wales, in that beautiful olive pantsuit, had restocked it 2 times in 2 weeks after it sold out because Catherine sold it out. And they were like, oh my gosh, this is a hot item. Let's restock it. And they restocked it because that is what a smart and a real business person does. So the fact that Meghan Markle, within 45 minutes, sold out of her whole entire stock, decided we're done. We're a success, one and done. We're going to take a break and we're going to reevaluate and calculate the data and come up with what our customers want. It's like they want what you were selling, but it sold out. And the people who ordered your honey didn't even get the honey. They got an IOU, an IOU of product. There's a rumor that quite a few people who tried to get the refund on that honey that cost $30 were told that there was some kind of glitch in the system and they weren't even registered. They're like, sorry, we can't find your information, guys, so you don't even get a refund. So no product, no refund, no restock, no information, but yet she's a success. I'm like, that is the worst business plan I have ever seen in my entire life. How hard is it to put raspberry sludge in a couple of jars in a factory? You're trying to tell me you couldn't have restocked at least the jam or the spread? Like, that didn't look hard. So I'm confused why she couldn't restock the spread. That's weird. And now she's telling people she wants to go into fashion. Like, that's going to be an even more success. Now, I used to have a clothing line, and let me tell you, it is a nightmare. A nightmare because you have to deal with sizing of clothing and returns. Oh my goodness, it is such a nightmare to have all the sizes, make sure everything fits. You have to have, certain links. It's not easy to run a clothing line. I think that's a disaster and a mistake for someone like Meghan Markle who can't even sell spread, who can't even deliver honey, right? That's made in a factory to customers. To me, this is going to be a joke. Lizzie B says, you call the manufacturer, place an order, they ship it to the warehouse and keep it in stock. It's not that difficult. She even showed people on her Instagram the factory filling a ton of jars. So I don't understand why almost 6 weeks, almost 2 months, it's tumbleweeds in her store. And then she's telling people pretty much, well, we're going to come back in 2026, guys. This is terrible. It took her a year to launch her business, sell out in 1 hour, and then tell people, okay, guys, we're taking a break. we need to reevaluate what we're going to do here. We're not going to refill anything. We're not refunding anything. You got an IOU, and we're going to come out sometime in 2026. And then she has a business podcast to boot, which is hysterical to me. Oh my goodness. Hi there. Hi, O Lemon. Thanks for joining. Carol says, Ted is completely out of his mind. We don't know when it will happen. Megan is a proven liar. This is about the Netflix deal. So I was talking with another creator today, and we were wondering, like, could it really be? Could there be a third season of With Love, Meghan Markle? And y'all, I would have to say, I can understand why Ted would want to do it, because Meghan Markle is ratings bonanza, whether it's good or bad. People love to hate her. They love to watch, hate watch. I don't know how they make money, if they make any money, but do you want your competitor to get that press? Think about it. Meghan Markle gets so much press, more than any celebrity out there. I didn't even know Pamela Anderson had a cooking show until people said Meghan Markle copied her. I had not a clue that Pamela Anderson had a cooking show, right? I know a lot of people didn't. And that's unfortunate, because I like Pamela Anderson. But literally, I had no clue until they said, oh, Meghan copied her. Then Pamela got a boost off of Meghan. So could Ted be using Meghan as a catalyst to jump off or pop off other projects? I don't know. We don't know why that man likes her. But again, negative press, it's a lot of attention. So does he want Hulu or Amazon to get all those stories? Probably not. But the interesting thing about the fact that supposedly Meghan is going off on her own contract with Netflix without Harry, they have never mentioned that movie, Meet Me at the Lake. What the hell happened? Who's going to get it? Is that going to go with Meghan? Is it going to somebody else? Like, where did it go? And I mentioned on a previous video that the author, Carly Fortune, has sold the rights to another book to, I believe, Amazon Prime. So that's embarrassing for Netflix, right? Wouldn't it be sad if her other movie comes out before Meet Me at the Lake? Meet Me at the Lake was bought 2 years ago, a year ago, and we have not heard anything. No casting, no director, nada. So I just find this very, very interesting. Lizzie says, I watched Pamela's show and it was nice. Yummy recipes, good banter, and I learned about vegan, vegetarian dishes. Yes, very, very good. Martha says, whatever Ted is doing, he's under Meghan's spell. Wonder what Harold thinks of that. Well, he's probably happy because they need to start making some moolah, guys. They need to start making some money, because that money well is drying up, especially since he is now way out of the royal fold. There's no way back for him. Again, even if Meghan signs this new deal with Netflix without Harry, as I predicted, and a lot of people have predicted in a previous video, if she goes with another season of Netflix, it's going to be under a new contract, and they're not going to get paid up front. And it's going to be kind of a pay-per-view, like what can you bring in? So a lot is going to be weighing in on season 2 and to see if it goes to season 3. So I don't think it's 100%. I might be wrong, guys, but I don't think it's 100% coming out with season 3. I think it's a possibility, but I think season 2 is going to be content gold for us with Chrissy Teigen. Are you kidding me? Oh, the factor of that episode. is going to be parody heaven, parody central, you guys, parody central. I'm just looking forward to people making fun of it. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But the content gold that we got out of the first season with I'm Sussex now and the parodies was just content gold, in my opinion. I cannot imagine how bad season 2 is going to be. And I don't think Ted would sign up for season 3. So let me know, guys. I don't think it's 100%. I think it's a rumor. But yeah. Hi, Michelle. Hope you're doing well. Just a quick pop in to say hi. Great to hear your voice. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate that. Martha Stewart said he supposedly got 30 million from his mom. How does anyone spend that much money? Yes, I don't think what he's doing is I don't think they spend all of his inheritance. I'm hoping they usually don't. They usually live off the interest because again, he has to save it for his children, right? They have to have an inheritance. But when you look at the Netflix money, he didn't get the whole 100 million. I think they got maybe 20, 30 million for Netflix. Spotify, they didn't get the whole 20 million. I do believe they got 20 million for Spare, but that was for a 4-book deal. But you got to think about taxes and staff and agencies and nannies and security and lawsuits, like $1 million. He probably just spent recently fighting the Home Office. He has to pay his attorneys, and he might have to pay another million, right, for the taxpayers. So he's had so many lawsuits. So you can just imagine the amount of money that they're going through. Now, I don't think they're going to be broke, but again, if you keep spending the money and that money's not coming back, after a while, you're going to go through, 5, 7 million a year. 10 years, that's 50 million, right? So I think Harry and Meghan really need to watch it because that money is going to dry up very, very soon. Yes. Hey, Tanya. So season 2 is just part of season 1, but a lot of people are calling it season 2. And the rumor is she might be picked up with Netflix under a new contract for season 3. I don't know if that's true or not. Pamela says, money is all relative with their lifestyle. That money goes fast. Absolutely. Absolutely. MK says they're paying 8 to 10 people 6 figures for their new court. That's right. And I think they spend 1 to 2 million a year on security. Then they have all those press people, the private jets. I mean, it does add up. Their house is, probably a lot of money a year. It definitely does add up to be quite a bit. Lisbeth says 30 million from his mom when he was 30. He got 7 million from the Queen when he turned 40. When they left the UK, they blew through $1 million in less than a month. Absolutely. We don't know if they paid cash for the house or not, which was 15, 16 million, I believe. We don't know if they paid cash for that. I remember they were paying that company, was it Goldman Sunshine Sachs, whatever it was, they were paying those people a lot of money. Oh, Lemon says, imagine spending an entire inheritance on beige sprinkled clothes. Absolutely. Yes. Now I wonder if she actually buys the clothes or does she return them after one wear. So again, it's just interesting to see what's going to happen with these two. Lizzie says, but then again, they just hired another person for their staff. They have so many people on the payroll, plus security, mortgage, nannies, private jets. They need to cut down on expenses. Delinda says the couple is absolutely nauseating. Hi, Marissa. Thanks for joining the show. But he does get $1 million a year from Better Up, his little salary for doing absolutely nothing. Oh, thank you, Lizzie, for linking my video. All I see is a mysterious duo approaching a beehive. It could be anybody. Yes, that's true. 100% true. And then, of course, we have little Harry making a little trip to China for Travelist. So it does appear that Harry, according to this article, is beginning to feel a lot like Meghan's spare in their marriage. He's finally realizing he looks like a royal tool. And the fact that they are doing the professional separation, if you've noticed, all of the projects now are kind of Meghan's. She has her as if or as ever or as never. She has a podcast. And now she might be getting her own Netflix contract. So where's Harry? Harry still has Travelist, which I believe they're trying to get money. They're begging for money. Then he has the Invictus Games. And then, of course, African Parks. That's kind of been a disaster. And the one recently, I forgot which one, Sentabale, well, he's no longer with Sentabale. So it seems like Harry is more on the philanthropic side, and Meghan is more on the give me money side. And then they have their Archwell Foundation, which we still don't know what they do, besides trying to censor free speech through the parent network and give a couple of generic donations to these random charities that most people have never heard about, right? So there's a rumor, guys, brace yourself, Little Prince Harry is going to get into a new creative space. Yeah. Oh, we forgot about Meghan Markle's dolphin investing. So now Harry is feeling like a spare in his marriage. So he is going to be venturing, probably in 2026, maybe before, into his own entrepreneurial endeavors. So I'm going to be very curious to see what Harry is going to try to do. What do y'all think? Do you have any guesses what you think Harry is going to do for a business? Because Lord knows he can't run a charity. That is for sure. Kind of compete with Meghan a little bit. Marissa says, I'm trying to figure out how Harry going to Ukraine and China while living in the US, not being legal, how is that okay for him to do? Exactly. So the interesting thing about Harry, hypocrite Harry, he flies 6,400 miles to China, right, to lecture businesses on how to become more climate conscious, what they need to do to, save the earth. Meanwhile, he goes on a private jet to China. It's like you could have done a Zoom call. You could have called it in, Harry. You didn't have to fly there on a private jet. This is after him and his wife took 4 motorcades in New York City. When most people took 2, they took 4, right? So Mr. Climate Change himself flew 6,400 miles to China for Travelist, which in my opinion, I don't even know how that business is existing, because Travelist is a company where you go and you rate the airlines or you rate the hotels or you try to fly an airplane that gives off less emissions. Does anybody even use Travelist? I've never heard of one person who has ever used Travelist. It just makes no sense. Lizzie B says he has the travel thing. Some charities have left money is low. Maybe he will open up a restaurant or sell sporting good with Invictus logo merch. Oh, there you go. Maybe him and Nacho will sign some polo shirts for people. We haven't heard a lot of Nacho lately since the show tanked. Polo, we haven't heard a lot about him lately, have we? Carol says his court work at a playground. Absolutely. Carrie says, hello, Michelle. I only just saw this. Yeah, it was last minute. Last minute. Elizabeth says, Archwell is to receive donations. They can keep 95% of the donations. I think that's how Charles supports them. They're multi-millionaire Anon donations every year. Yeah, that whole thing with their charity. Isn't there a couple of missing millions? Hi, Lizzie Lopez. Oh, Dex says professional polo player. Okay, that could be. Harry barely made it out of high school and used his family connections to get into Sandhurst. Yep, that is true. He's going to take over Ciroc, the vodka brand Diddy was the face of. Ouch. That's true. That poor brand. What's going to happen to that? He could run a stable. Harry is a spy. MK says anything that requires low intelligence for Harry. Well, hey, if Megan can do it, I think he could too. Carol says, I think in your predictions they would continue honest horribilis. I think instead of a year, it's more like a decade. Like the past 5 years, I would definitely say has been an honest horribilis for Harry. Everything they have signed up for, everything they touch has literally blown up in their faces. Literally blown up in their faces. The royal family, I know a lot of people are really angry with the way that Charles is not handling it or the way that other people are, but I feel they are handling it, but they're handling it in a way that they have to. Because if Charles would come out and say, okay, we're taking away your titles, we're removing you and your children from the line of succession, Harry and Meghan would just turn that around for the whole victim narrative. They would just completely use it against them. So I think the best thing the royal family is doing is the never complain, never explain, and they're basically ignoring them like they do not exist. And if you know anything about narcissist, that has got to bug both Harry and Meghan, that the royal family doesn't even acknowledge them anymore, like they do not exist. And the truth is, every year that goes by that Harry and Meghan are not a part of the royal fold, the farther and farther into irrelevancy they fall. And if you've noticed, the royal family's popularity has gone up. Now, it has taken a huge hit, but I think the best course of action is to let Harry and Meghan hang themselves, and they've done it. Meghan is the most unpopular celebrity, I think, 2 to 3 years in a row. And you can't blame the British media for that. That's Meghan. People are starting to see her fakeness, like that Jamie Kern Lima interview, guys, was so bad. It was so bad. It was honestly nothing against Jamie Lee Curna, but we literally found a woman who was more annoying than Meghan in an interview, and that was hard to do. Um, but it exposed Meghan for her hypocrisy, her fakeness about Harry. He's a fox. Like, oh, just listening to this woman cry about how hard she works and doesn't want to prove herself, but constantly proves herself. It was just, oh, it was ratings bonanza. So the royal family doesn't have to do anything to Harry and Meghan. They do it to themselves. And the BBC interview, guys, oh, where he sat there and cried about how nobody wants to talk to him. Again, he did it to himself. So the royal family, the best course of action is to just ignore them for now. But I really do believe when Prince William becomes king, there's going to be a new sheriff in town, and that's when they're going to make the changes. But under Charles, it's probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. And I'm okay with that because Harry and Meghan are a walking disaster. You know what I mean? Like they only have themselves to blame. Lizzie says it's strange that MM passed up the chance to be 500 all camera focused on her. When was that? I'm missing that. Martha Smith says, Elizabeth Garreau, I think Parliament is already working on it. Yeah, I guarantee you that there's probably been many private conversations behind the scenes that the royal family and the government are in talks. I guarantee you this has been a major discussion for sure, but they have to play it a certain way because they know that Harry and Meghan are going to turn it around and they're going to play the victim card. MW says Jamie looked like Buzz Lightyear. She was very, like, I used to love her on QVC or HSN. I used to really watch that in her beauty line. I really did love her. And I don't dislike her, even though she did that interview with Meghan. It was just cringy, like cringy. The entire time she was talking, she was like, yeah, yeah, like weird. They all hang out with Oprah. They're all just very like kumbaya. Um, they're very much a part of that crowd. Harry and Meghan are scared of William and Catherine ascending to the throne. Absolutely. Absolutely. And honestly, like if he doesn't get in through his father, he's never getting in. And it doesn't look like King Charles is willing to go out of his way for Harry because they don't trust him anymore. You know, if this interview he just gave was like a clear example of you cannot trust him. Elizabeth says the House of Lords is discussing it. There was a bill in the last government. It got second reading after 2 years. It died when the election was canceled. Yeah, but I guarantee you there's been a lot of talks behind the scenes, and there's going to be yeah, there's going to be some stuff, guys, but they have to do it in a certain way. They have to be very, very careful of how they do it. MK says 15 million missing from Canadian Invictus. Yeah, there's some really shady stuff going on with Invictus. And I want to know, like, I wish we could find out actual numbers. Like, if they can tell us, was the Winter Games successful? Did they make a profit? How many people showed up? They never really give us any kind of like statistics. But from what I saw, it didn't look like the stadiums are really full. It doesn't look like people are really paying to attend those events, which is really sad for the veterans. But it didn't look like the last couple of Invictus games, it didn't look like they were full. But what's going to be interesting is when the Invictus Games in 2027 goes to the UK. I forgot what city it's going to, but it's going to go to the UK. He's going to be on home turf. So that is going to be very interesting what the turnout will be for that and where Harry will be in the hierarchy. Charles the Weak may not take Harry back, but he'll never take the titles. He'll leave it to Wills, make Wills the bad guy. I don't think it's necessarily about him being weak or trying to make somebody the bad guy. Again, I think there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that we are unaware of, and they're following certain things. But I agree, a lot of people want him to stand up and to cut the titles, but I think it would be a mistake if they did it like that. I think there would have to be a big reason. But I think it's coming. I do think it's coming. Birmingham, that's right. Absolutely. Carrie says the fact Invictus operate in the shade is questionable to me because charities are supposed to be transparent. Yeah, everything with Harry and Meghan is in the dark, isn't it? Nothing ever appears to be transparent. Everything's very confusing. And Archwell has not really made a profit. If I'm correct in that, I don't think they've actually made a profit. I think they operated at a loss a couple of years ago, and they're a couple million short than what they used to get. But I can't imagine that they're operating at a profit. And if they are, it's just barely. because they really don't donate that much money. It doesn't seem like they actually donate that much money to people. Carol said Charles needs to concentrate on getting better and clearing his cancer. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, there have been talks between government and the royal family. Oh, yeah, I guarantee you they probably have had a ton of talks, especially after the BBC interview, because Harry, in my opinion, is a danger to the royal family. He really is. He's saying that he's being threatened and people want to come after him, but I think he is more of the threat to the royal family than, uh, anyone is to him. And I guarantee you they're not taking what he says or what he does lightly. But I believe there are protocols and certain things that they have to do. And I also do believe that maybe on the back burner, they are thinking if they divorce, they want Harry possibly to come back, but he'll never be a working royal. He'll be like Andy, Uncle Andy. But, you know, are they leaving the door cracked for Harry and the kids? So maybe they want to safeguard the grandchildren because let's be honest, what we feel about Harry and Meghan, Archie and Lily are innocent and they deserve their heritage. Whether we like Meghan or not, those children, as far as we know, should have the royal heritage. So it's not fair to take it away from them. They've had everything else taken away from them. But if they remove it from Harry, they have to remove the kids. So I think maybe in a way, King Charles is looking out for his grandchildren. And, they're just bypassing Meghan altogether. So as long as Harry's married to Meghan, he can't come back. But they need to leave the door open for the grandkids, maybe? I don't know. What are your thoughts? It would be hard for a father to do what he needs to do with Harry. I have grown kids. It would be easier for William. Absolutely. Absolutely. The kids' titles will go as well. A traitor's family is a tainted. Yep. I mean, I know a lot of people, they want all of them gone, and I totally get it. And then, of course, there's the whole question of were they born of the body? Were they born of surrogates? That's a whole other enchilada right there. Marissa says those kids are going to hate both of the Harkles for keeping them from being royal. Absolutely. I would be pissed. Wouldn't you be pissed if you found out you could have been living in a castle and lived in the UK with your family and all of a sudden you were taken away from that? But yeah. Sorry, guys, I had to drink. It says the grandkids should have titles when they are Americans who don't care or concerned about the British monarchy. Well, again, it's not the kids' fault. It's not their fault they were taken from the UK and raised in Montecito, right? That's really not their fault. So I kind of feel bad for the kids. I do. Marissa, can you imagine, Mom? Why'd you keep us in California making jelly? We could have been princess and prince. Exactly. Like, first of all, in California, nobody's going to address them as prince and princess. They don't want to get beat up at school. So no, that's definitely not happening. Yeah, this whole thing with them is just bizarre. Elizabeth says, nah, the Harkles will say that Grandpa didn't want them because they are biracial. Yeah, probably. It's really sad, but I know people close to me, and I have some family members that they went through a divorce, and the ex-husband had painted the children against this family member of mine, which is terrible. To where they don't have a relationship with their kids because of the ex. And it's awful, but people do that. I would not be surprised at all if Harry and Meghan are brainwashing their kids to hate the royal family. 100%. 100%. They're going to say your granddaddy didn't love you. He didn't want you to be safe. He didn't want you to live here, so we were forced to live here. I guarantee it, that's probably what they're doing with those kids. Kids might make them by calling them prince and princess, mock them. Yeah, by calling them prince and princess. I mean, they're growing up in a very rich neighborhood in California. Yeah. Elizabeth says, yep, if you want your kids shunned at school, just call them prince and princess. Mommy Dearest and Spare 2.0. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm coming up with some videos I'm working on this week, guys. Hopefully get them out tomorrow or the next day. There's just so many royal stories that are breaking right now. So hopefully y'all will like that. Pamela says, I think like most of us, the British royal family never imagined the marriage would last this long. Absolutely. You know, it's really funny. I used to think it would be the 7-year itch. I really thought they'd make it to like this year, which is 7 years, and then it would start to fall apart. Then I thought, you know, they're like two peas in a pod. They are so alike, or he's turned into Meghan. Meghan has kind of turned him into a whiny, spoiled brat, even though he probably was that before her. They're so alike in the way that they think and their victim mentality. Nobody else wants them. Let's be honest. Who would want Meghan or Harry? Honestly. So they might as well stay together at this point. What is it? Misery loves company. But at the other token, other people were bringing up the fact, and I kind of can see this, that Meghan is waiting for the 10-year anniversary. Because in California, if you're married for 10 years, she might get access to his inheritance after 10 years. Now, I could be wrong. And think about that, guys. That's where the bulk of the money is, right? They're pissing away the Netflix money, the Spotify money. You know, she's going through that with her $30,000 for 4 days of Invictus wardrobe. She goes through a lot of money. So when she goes through all that, she's got the inheritance, right? So I'm not 100% sure how that works, but I do believe they're either going to stay together because they're both miserable people, or she's going to wait for the 10-year mark and bounce, because Meghan is still trying to make herself happen, and she hasn't been a success. So she still needs that royal connection to H, because she's still trying to portray the greatest love story and that I'm a mom. She's still trying to sell us that fake narrative, and she's still trying to get this as ever off the ground, and her podcast off the ground, and her Netflix show. She's still trying to make it happen all through next year. So I have a feeling, guys, that she might have to stick around. Invictus 2027. She's kind of milking that cow for all the juice that she can get out of Harry. But I can't see it going past 10 years. I mean, that's kind of stretching it. Maybe it'll be next year, but I kind of feel like they lasted this long because they had all those joint projects, but all of those have ended now. So the only thing they have now is Meghan can go off on her own to Netflix without Harry. So now they don't have any professional commitments together, if you really think about it. Let me drink something for a second. Hold on, guys. She wants Netflix Ted. No, I don't think she wants Ted. You know who she really wants is Jeff Bezos. She's so jealous of Lauren Sanchez. She cannot stand it. Lauren Sanchez has the life she wants, guys. She's so jealous of that woman. It's hysterical. And she wasn't invited to her bachelorette party. I think she had a bachelorette party. She wasn't invited. Lauren Sanchez is not a dumb chick. She's not going to have a snake like Meghan Markle around her man. You know what I'm saying? This woman has not eaten bread in a decade. She works out. She's had a lot of plastic surgery. I mean, she's a beautiful woman. It costs a lot of money to look like that. She has put in the time to marry that billionaire. So Megsy, get to stepping. Jeff Bezos and his billions. Big Daddy. That's right. I heard that MM cheated on Harry. Ooh, you know, there was a rumor that she was getting a little hot and heavy with her bodyguard. Do y'all remember when she did that Hertz commercial walk in that dress that looked like she was wearing her Nana's quilt and she was the same color as Hertz? And she was literally matching her bodyguard. I think he had the same color tie as her dress. Do y'all remember that? There was a rumor she was friendly with the bodyguard. That's all I'll say. MW says the Queen was sick with cancer, yet she got it to go and greet the new Prime Minister, something Yoko Soho would never do or accomplish. Yeah, Meghan Markle just is not, she's a quitter. She's one of those people that she wants instant gratification. She wants it now. I want it now. She doesn't want to work. Slow and steady is not her pace. She wants to cut to the front of the line and be adored and loved. She wanted to be the Instagram Duchess, where she walks around and kisses babies and hold hands. Well, maybe barely holds hands, collects flowers for 10 minutes, waves, gets a photograph, and then she's done. That's what she thought royal life was. She didn't realize it's like being a civil servant in a tiara. It's not sexy. It's not glamorous. It's talking to people, making them feel seen and heard, small talk. It's awkward. It takes time to develop a skill to do that. But Meghan doesn't want to do that. Meghan is not a people person. She's not a baby person. She's not an animal person. She is a narcissist. She is, vapid. She is an empty vessel. And when you're a royal, you have to be out there serving the people. And that is not for Meghan Markle. Even when she was an actress for Suits, when you'd watch her on the red carpet, she was so robotic and fake and cold with the people who would interview her. She was just really odd. She's not a people person, and she's a quitter. So if she doesn't get to be there like a fast track, then she moves on. Like, look at her businesses. American Riviera Orchard was a disaster. Archetypes, a disaster. Confessions of a Female Founder, a disaster. As Ever is now As Never. Literally an hour and she gone. She done. What? That's not a business. And now she's regrouping to come out with another product. So in my opinion, I believe she's just running a gimmick novelty shop. She's not really in it because she wants to be an entrepreneur, guys. She's looking for a quick buck. That's it. A quick buck. She gone. Yeah. That's it. Lizzie Lopez says, remember Harry said babies changes every 2 weeks. Right. Yeah. They're just, she's very awkward with children. They act like they've never been with kids. When you look at William and Catherine, they're so natural with little kids. You see them and you're like, oh, they're so cute. And they're just so natural because they have 3 children. But when you see Harry or Meghan, they act like they don't know how to touch them, how to talk to them at all. Like they're not parents of 2 kids. That's what I find super weird. Marissa says, when Harry's King Paul allowance runs out, she gone. She gone. That's right. Meg wants Gordon Getty billionaire and 90 years old. Heck yeah. Whatever happened to that dude, by the way? We don't even see anything about that guy. Lizzie B says it was either Sonia or nobody else who was going to relinquish his claim to the Norwegian throne. They eventually did, accepted her after so many years of courtship, and they have. Is that Queen Maxima that you're talking about? Did you see The Commoner on Prime? No, I didn't. Is that a new show, Carol? I'm always looking for a new period piece, so let me know. Good night, Martha Stewart or Martha Smith. Yeah, she said she looks like Julia Roberts. Oh, I got to thank Annie for the super sticker. Thank you so much, Annie. I appreciate that. And Lizzie B, thank you for the $5, ma'am. I greatly appreciate it so very much. All of that's going to go to Romeo's Fancy Feast Fund because he eats a lot, you guys. He eats me out of house and home. Says, when you talk like Harry and say, push my love, I die. Yes, little Harry. He is interesting. It's really sad though, because I used to really like Harry. I really did. Used to be really excited to hear about him. And now he just looks so different to me. It's very sad. But, anyways, I just wanted to come on here, guys, and say hello. I've missed y'all. And I am going to be doing some videos this week. I do have quite a few that I'm planning to come out with. So hopefully you guys will watch them. I do try to come up with them as fast as I can. I know the news comes out really, really fast. Lizzie says, Charles has stopped helping Harry quite some time. Harry is on his own. Absolutely. Art Shine Design says, do you think she has political backers still? Is she trying to appeal to a demographic that woke Dems have no connections with? Are you talking about Megan? Honestly, I think Megan's only demographic are her fans. I don't think she has anybody who seriously would back her for anything at all, especially if people see how she's run her business. I don't think anyone is backing her. The weird thing I can't get my head around is Netflix is in business with Meghan Markle. I don't understand what they're making. How much money did you make in 1 hour? How much did you sell in 1 hour? Now, the other thing, which I find weird, Meghan is not selling her product in any Netflix stores. Those pop-up stores. It's just exclusively on the Meghan Markle website, which is not being replenished. But when you look at her business, it's I forgot it was an LLC and Netflix is on it. I don't understand when she says she partnered with Netflix. What the hell did they do? Did they pay for the products to be manufactured? I just don't understand how that partnership is split, how it's run, how it's working, how they're benefiting. It's bizarre. So maybe that is why she has to renew the contract. See, here's the other thing. Megan went into business with her lifestyle brand as ever with Netflix. So maybe she did that because in a way to kind of force them to give her another season on the cooking show because they need to get their money back. I don't know. There's something weird going on with that. I'm going to have to investigate that, but there's something bizarre as to why would they partner with her? This is such a bad partnership. And how the hell do they make any money? I'm so confused on that. It says Netflix used to pay $1 million an episode to a big star. Netflix is going to put her stuff in their 2 Netflix stores. That's all. I don't know. I'm confused. Somebody said something. I'm trying to find it, guys. The name As Ever Scam Foreman goes by Lil Nuck Nuck Shady. Netflix has lost their shirt. Yeah, there's something weird going on there. Oh, the producers. Yes, Michelle, you need to see the producers with Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick. Sometimes you make money with the flop. Yeah? She's selling Dollar Tree raspberry ice cream sauce. You know, I really thought that I was going to see it like in a TJ Maxx or something. We were going to see American Riviera Orchard in a TJ Maxx, but she never sold it. And then she was sold out in 1 hour. So there's not enough product to go to the discount store. Netflix looks like idiots. They're trying to save face now. Absolutely. It says 100 million over 5 years is what they could have made if they'd been as successful as the Obamas or the Beckhams. The Beckhams have been very, very successful. She's buying clearance jellies at Ross like a mug. Absolutely. I'm waiting for the day, guys, that we go to a garage sale and we see that commemorative packaging in somebody's garage sale. You know it's coming up, guys. If you guys ever find it, you have to send me a photo. Okay. If you find in a garage sale someone is selling the commemorative packaging, I definitely want to see that because I know it's going to happen. So before we end the live in a couple of minutes, do y'all have any questions or any topics that you would like me to cover in my videos coming up this week? Let me know in the comments, guys, because we're going to end in just a couple of minutes. So please let me know. There's 101 of you. Thank you for joining me. I know it was last minute. MW says, some of us unfortunately are unsubscribed from videos for some crazy reason and have to redo. Yeah, YouTube, y'all, has been jerking my channel. For some reason, they unsubscribed like 50 people from me. And I know it's not you guys. I know it's YouTube because they do it all the time. When I don't make videos for a couple of days, they punish me and literally start deleting people from my channel. And people are like, you unsubscribed me. And I'm like, no, I didn't. That's YouTube. So what happens is everything is this algorithm with YouTube. So even if you're subscribed to somebody, if you haven't watched their video recently, they will not be on, like they make your own custom homepage on what you watch. So even if you're not subscribed to someone, but you've watched a couple of their videos, they're going to pop up on your feed, guys. And the people that you subscribe to that you haven't clicked on for a while, they won't be on your home page. So you will literally forget about them. And so what YouTube has been doing, because I haven't made videos for like 5 days, they're now subtracting me from all of my subscribers. And they did that on my last 2 videos. My views were really, really bad. And when I went into my analytics, it showed me that they didn't even send it to my own subscribers. I'm like, what is the point of having people subscribe if you're not going to send it to them? That is why I encourage people to sign up for my free Patreon, because every time I release a video, I put it up there on Patreon so you get an email notification, because I can't trust YouTube to send it out to people because they literally punish me. Like they remove 50 people and they do it all the time. And the last 2 videos, they sucked because YouTube did not show it to hardly anybody. And it's like, why do they do that to us? I have no idea. Sue Smith has the same problem. She'll go up 100, down 100, up 100. It's like the same numbers. And we tell YouTube, hey, there's something wrong here. And they're like, nope, everything's fine. So it's really frustrating. So if you get unsubscribed, it's not me removing you at all. Just please subscribe. And if you watch my videos, guys, make sure you like it and you can leave a comment. That way the algorithm is like, okay, they liked that video. We're going to show them the next one. Because if you don't interact and you're like, oh, I'll watch it later some other day, and you do that a couple times, YouTube's going to be like, you don't like her content, so we're not going to show you her videos anymore. And they'll literally remove me from your homepage and you won't see me unless you search for me. And they might even unsubscribe you. That's what YouTube does. And I know a lot of people get upset about it. Carol, yep, Steph, the alternator went through the same thing. It's so frustrating. It's like we work so hard to build up our channel and then they punish you and they don't even show you to your own subscribers. It's like, oh my God. And I've been doing this, y'all, for 4 years, and I get so frustrated. And it's hard for me because, I had problems with my dad being sick. I had an eye condition, and then I work a full-time job. So I do try to get my videos out there, but sometimes I'm exhausted or it just takes me forever to do a video. And then I'll get a video out and the news is 3 or 4 days old and then people don't want to watch it, or they do, or then YouTube doesn't show it. So it's really frustrating sometimes for me. I wanted to quit a couple times, you guys. I'm not even joking, because it's a lot of work, but I enjoy doing it. But you get very frustrated when YouTube messes with your channel. It's frustrated. Yeah. So Judah says, I wasn't getting notified. Yeah. So make sure, guys, if you could do me a favor, if you just go to my last video, if you haven't watched it, like it and just comment. So that way the algorithm will know to show you my videos. I'd appreciate it, because it is frustrating when you work, and then YouTube doesn't show it. Oh, bless your heart. I hated to hear that you lost your daddy. I lost my mom in February. Oh, sorry for your loss. Yeah, it's real hard to lose a parent, but he's in a better place. And I have to be honest with y'all, after the funeral and the send off, I just feel so much lighter now that I was finally able to do it. It took us about 6 weeks to plan the funeral, to get everything together, because that was kind of a nightmare, I gotta tell you. Whew. So anyway, so that's all fixed. So I do feel better. But Marissa, I am sorry for your loss. Oh, thank you, Lizzie. And we could give a shout out to Lizzie B. She's an amazing moderator, always does a great job, always wants to help. At a short moment's notice, she was available. Thank you, Lizzie. You're awesome. I appreciate you for all you do for me. She's the best moderator. Oh, yes. There's a new YouTuber called Royalty. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, so there's another guy called Royalty. It's very close to me. But that's what happens. There's a lot of new YouTubers in the space, big channels that come over and, they get more views than I do. And that's okay. There's enough room for us. But unfortunately, his name is very close to mine. Someone told me they clicked on it and then they realized it wasn't me. It's like some AI generated voice, I think, called Royalty. And he has quite a few subscribers, I think. So, that's what happens, unfortunately. Oh, thank you, Lizzie. She is very sweet. She's a very sweet person, you guys. All right, guys. Oh, your great channel. Don't give up. Thank you. Yeah, there was a time, guys, I literally was questioning if I should continue. Because after 4 years to be at 42,000, I was so frustrated, very frustrated. But I know we all have our own journey, our own pace, And I know I just can't go as fast as everybody else, and that's okay. I know my real fans will be there for me, so I do appreciate that, you guys, honestly, because the fact that anybody wants to listen to me ever is still shocking, and I do appreciate that you guys enjoy my content. You can fit it in, yes. Oh, live, you guys like the lives? I was thinking about doing a Sunday live because I'm off on Sundays, so maybe a Sunday morning live. Let me know if you guys would like me to do a weekly live. Oh, thank you, Lizzie. I do appreciate it because I know there are so many creators out there, and you hear the same story over and over again, and it can get really, really old. So I do appreciate that you guys enjoy my videos and that you watch it. Sunday mornings could work. Okay, well, we'll think about that for sure. Marissa says, anytime I see you have a new video, I watch it. Yes, thank you guys. I do appreciate y'all. I really, really do. Oh, MW, I'm sure you will get bigger. Plus, you are beautiful, Michelle. Don't forget that. Oh, you're such a sweetheart. And I'm going to try to get on camera more. So on my lives in the future, I'm going to try to get on camera. And maybe for my videos, I might try to get on camera as well. It's just, you got to have your hair and makeup on, stuff like that. Yeah, like we like the live morning, one morning for you, Eastern, Central. I'm Central. So it's 10 p.m. here. So I'd probably do like noon California time or Texas time, excuse me. Pretty sassy Southern girl. Thank you. I do appreciate that. So yes, if you guys like the lives, email coming your way tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, Lizzie. Yes, if you guys would like a weekly live, then maybe we can start doing them on Sundays. And I'll let y'all know ahead of time so more people can join because this was kind of a last minute live. I just wanted to talk to you guys because I missed y'all. And I need to go research for some videos. I'm being a little bit behind here. But I just wanted to get on and talk with y'all. This person says, yes, we prefer you talk with us and you're human, not AI. Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. Okay, guys. Well, if there's no more comments. Oh, let's see. I've never seen your lives. This is the best way to get a real feel for creators. In my opinion, you have a sweet energy. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And like I said, maybe I'll try to get on camera next time. So yeah. But anyways, guys, thank y'all so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I'm glad people showed up. And look for a video either tomorrow or the next day. But we have a lot of royalty coming up, so hopefully y'all will check it out and just make sure you go to one of my videos, like it, so that way YouTube knows that you like my content. Make sure you are subscribed, you hit the notification, and you can always sign up for my free Patreon so you can get an email notification as well. All right. Bye, guys. Hope to see y'all soon.